All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Training Tuesday, offered by the Chief Procurement Office for General Services. All right, so we're going to go over our Training Tuesday agenda for today. We've got our updates and reminders. We're going to go over brand name and BidBuy beta, and we'll go over some additional training opportunities and end things with our Tuesday takeaway. Okay, so there are 42 total days until the end of the fiscal year, and that includes weekends and holidays. Factor those in, and you're looking at 28 state business days. Please make sure that you are communicating with your SPO about procurements that must be completed prior to the end of the fiscal year. CPO Notice 2025.08, brand name only justification for Department of Innovation and Technology Standards, was issued May 12th and effective immediately. We're going to talk a bit more about that today. We want to highlight that we have a few seats still open for our May 29th in-person training for specifications. The specifications course is approved by UPPCC for 3.5 contact hours. This is an in-person course and it's full of hands-on activities that will assist you as a procurement professional in developing effective specifications. Registration is required. Please visit the CPOGS Training Center for more information. The CPOGS office is hosting an event for APOs and limited additional staff on May 21st. We sent out registration confirmation emails last week. If you have questions, please ask your SPO or email the training group at cpogs.training@illinois.gov. All right, so we're going to look at brand names, and I want to point out that it is important to note that brand name is not associated with sole source or sole economically feasible source. Agencies may request brand name specs during a competitive procurement or small purchase to assist in defining the specifications that are required. CPO Notice 2025.08 was issued May 12th and effective immediately, as stated earlier. And pursuant to 20 ILCS 1370, the Department of Innovation and Technology, DOIT, has the authority and responsibility to establish standards to protect the security and interoperability of state data for agencies under the jurisdiction of the governor. Additionally, DOIT has the power to review, propose new, or propose modified standards for communication equipment and services. This notice authorizes that supplies and services named in DOIT's list of communication and information technology standards justifies a brand name. The standards list is an Excel spreadsheet and contains worksheets titled Business View and Technical View. It was attached to the CPO notice and is available on the CPOGS website. An updated brand name only justification form was also released in conjunction with the CPO Notice 2025.08. Please review the notice for additional information. So have you ever had a paper cut or your kid has scraped their knee and the first thing you say is, I need a Band-Aid? Most likely any bandage would do and you wouldn't be worried about the brand name. Have you ever been standing at a coworker's desk and feel a sneeze coming on and say, do you have a Kleenex? I'm sure any tissue or even a napkin would serve the intended purpose. These are examples of how brand names can infiltrate our vocabulary and become a term that we use to describe something. It's also important to remember that several brand names can be found at several different resellers. For instance, I could go to Walmart, Target, Amazon, Dollar General, or a multitude of other locations and likely be able to buy either a Band-Aid or a Kleenex brand. So please recall that sole sources are for when there is only one vendor that can provide the supplies or services. Brand name is when there is only one brand that will serve the agency's need, but there are multiple resellers that the agency can purchase the brand from. This means that brand name procurements are competitive solicitations since multiple vendors can fulfill the need. An agency may also need to use brand name specifications if a non-branded specification could lead to an unacceptable solution. Perhaps you are using a machine that requires a certain brand of parts, and if you use any other part name, it will void the machine's warranty. If there were multiple resellers of the product you needed, you may be able to issue a competitive brand name only procurement. Brand name or equal per section 1.2050C of the rules states that you shall seek to designate more than one brand as or equal, and shall further state that substantially equivalent products to those designated will be considered for award, unless it is determined the essential characteristics of the brand names included in the specifications are commonly known in the industry or trade. Brand name or equal specifications shall include a description of the particular design, functional or performance characteristics that are required. You may need to utilize this option if you're struggling to completely define your specifications. So you'll use 2 or 3 brand names as an example of what you're willing to accept, but you're also willing to accept products or solutions that were not mentioned by the name, so long as the product or solution performs the same function as the brands stated. Brand name only per section 1.2050D of our rules states that a brand name specification may be used in a competitive solicitation or a request to place an order with a vendor who has a contract that was the result of a multiple award, provided the state agency makes a written request justifying that only the identified brand name item will satisfy the state's needs, and the SPO approves in writing the use of the brand name only specification. So how can you justify a brand name only? You must utilize the brand name only justification form, which can be found in the Procurement Resource Library. Here you will need to justify why this brand named solution is the only solution that will work for your agency. Both the APO and the SPO will need to sign off on the brand name only justification form, and it must be included in the procurement file. So think about these questions when you're determining if a brand name only procurement is necessary. The answers to these questions should be input in the brand name only justification form for your APO and SPO to review. Who is the brand? Is it a product or the actual manufacturer of what you are referencing? Who can provide this brand of items? Who needs to use the resulting contract? What is it that the agency needs? Does the agency specifically need this brand, for instance, Kleenex, or would any facial tissue meet the needs of the agency? What does this brand do that other brands can't? Does it have a proprietary feature that connects to a system already in place? Why is there not an option to consider other brands? Would it negatively impact the agency if other brands are considered? These are all questions that you should ask yourself and assure to provide justification for on the brand name only justification form. If there is not enough information, your APO and SPO will not be able to approve the brand name only request. Now let's take a look at BidBuy Beta. The CPOGS will be turning on the beta toggle this week for BidBuy. If you select to use the beta version, you will see an updated version of BidBuy. I will be going over how to access the beta version and what it looks like in the next few slides. Though first, I want to note that using the beta version is optional, and you can toggle back to using the current BidBuy version at any point. To try the BidBuy beta version, select the Try Beta toggle switch at the top right of the page. You can see here an orange arrow that is pointing to that toggle switch. Once you click on the toggle to turn on the beta version, a pop-up will appear, and you can click on Switch Now to turn on the beta version. You'll see that the navigation menu is on the top of the page. It's in the orange box here. This navigation menu will remain at the top of each page in BidBuy, so you can easily access the section that you need to utilize. To change your organization, click on your current organization at the top right of the page. You'll see the orange box there, where it's currently on CPO GS, the CPO Office for General Services org. And then you'll get this pop-up where you can search for and select another organization. Here you can see that the action boxes are here, and I currently have 5 bid solicitations ready to open and 2 purchase orders ready to send. Below that, you'll see recent documents, and this is where the documents I've most recently worked on are located. To the right of that, you will see the news section, which will include messages from our BidBuy team regarding system downtime, upgrades, etc. Along the top menu bar, you'll see the option to create, which is indicated here with this orange arrow. Click on Create to reveal the drop-down menu that includes requisition, bid solicitation, and purchase order. We don't utilize contract or receipt. Here you see the screen for creating a new requisition. The job aids will not be updated to reflect beta mode, but the overall processes are the same. As you can see here, the look is a bit different, but it's not like a huge change. So the job aids should indicate all of the steps properly. We do suggest only using beta if you're comfortable and want to remind you that you can toggle out of beta at any time by clicking on the toggle switch indicated with the orange arrow here. Once clicking on that, you can then choose to click back onto beta or out of beta at any point, and you will seamlessly be sent back to the current BidBuy version and will remain on the same page you were on as seen here. We are still at the Create New Requisition screen. Again, we encourage you to try the beta version of BidBuy, but please only use it if you feel comfortable, and remember you can toggle back to the current version at any time. If you are experiencing issues, please contact the BidBuy State User Help Desk for assistance. Please make sure to visit the CPOGS Training Center for more training opportunities. We'd like to highlight our BidBuy trainings. We have our BidBuy System on-demand trainings, which are available 24/7 at the CPOGS Training Center website. And the BidBuy registration form refers to CPO Notice 2025.04. This notice requires the requesting user to have completed the diversity and inclusion in procurement training prior to being able to gain access to BidBuy. In order to access the online on-demand training, please refer to CPO Notice 2025.04. The CPOGS Procurement Training Academy offers 4 courses that are approved by UPPCC for contact hours. Registration is required. Please visit our training center for all upcoming training dates. And now let's look at our Tuesday takeaway. Today's Tuesday takeaway is a fast fact, and it is near and dear to my heart. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States. Over the last 3 years, pickleball has grown more than any other sport in the US. It's a mix between tennis, badminton, and table tennis. Bonus fact, racket sports can extend your life by up to 9.7 years. I've had great fun playing pickleball over the last year, so I'm one of these new converts, and I encourage any of you to check out your local pickleball scene. It's a lot of fun, and maybe I'll get an extra 10 years of life out of it. All right, well, thank you so much for attending today. If you have any questions, please send those over to the cpogs.training@illinois.gov email account, and we hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.